everybody? I'm Bex.
And I'm Carly.
And together we're the co-founders of Be Limitless Global. And today we're recording our very first video for YouTube. And it's all about the women that inspire us the most. So I'm going to do my top 5 and Carly's going to do her top 5 as well. Cool.
Now, we don't actually know each other's top 5, apart from one, because we accidentally let that slip. But we have independently picked our top 5. And we might end up having the exact same people, who knows? But we thought, especially we've got International Women's Day coming up on Monday the 8th. So we thought that this would be a really good video to kickstart our YouTube journey and what we're trying to do with Be Limitless.
Amazing. So who's gonna go first? Do you want to go first? Do you want to do your number 5? We're gonna do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you put yours in order of 5, who's 4, your favorite? Yeah. I think I have as well, actually. Yeah. Okay. Now, I will admit to you though, one of mine is probably quite controversial, but I don't care. And I think what she did in her time, she paved the way, basically.
It's inspiring to you though, right? Because ultimately, there's so many females out there, but it's just who connects with you and who resonates with you, right?
So, yeah, exactly.
So coming in at number 5 for Carly is
Princess Diana.
Cool.
I mean, come on, it's Princess Diana, like pioneering charity work. She's arguably the most famous person in the world at her time, and she was definitely the most photographed. But she had super high involvement in things like AIDS and the, what was it called? The landmines, that's it. So she visited loads of countries. You used to see her in the vest and stuff like that as a royal to put herself in those situations. And I remember people, even now, people don't have a really good understanding of AIDS, and people would be scared to touch people. And she held the hand of a man, didn't she?
Yeah.
She held his hand to show you're not going to catch it. Like, they deserve compassion, and that's incredible. And it's so sad what happened to her, and I can understand how Prince Harry has separated himself because he saw the damage to his mum and he doesn't want to go through that. And I think in a recent interview he was saying it was really affecting his mental health, and he didn't want his wife to have to go through the same situation. So I think that as well is what she did as a mum as well. Her boys are phenomenal. So yeah, she's definitely on my top 5. Coming in at number 5 for Bex is
Princess Diana.
So there you go.
It's funny that that's the one that we let slip, right? But we didn't know what order it's going to come in. So I think that Princess Diana was quite a shock to the royal family, in my opinion, because she walked in her own truth and she was a trailblazer. Like, for example, did notable charity work. And one of the things that really stood out to me about what I knew about her, because obviously I was pretty young, is that she was publicly affectionate and loving to her children, which is just something that the royal family didn't do.
Yeah, that's
she evolved into an icon of grace, elegance, and glamour. And like you already said, she's one of the most photographed people. And I love that she used her status as well to aid numerous charity causes. And behind it all, she really struggled with postnatal depression, low self-esteem, eating disorders, and there was so much disaster surrounding her her personal life, which was in the public eye. And I think that for someone to actually keep it together, for me, is worth a notable mention. So that's why Princess Diana is my number 5.
Absolutely. There you go. Boom.
Cool. So coming in at number 4 for Carly is
my controversial person, Margaret Thatcher. Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. Now, I know a lot of people dislike her for her policies and stuff like that. I get that. I understand that. But for me, the reason she was on my list is the fact that she was the first female prime minister. And you think even now in this current day and age, okay, we've had Theresa May since, but you would have thought that maybe by this time it would have still been a bit more of the balance, and it's clearly not there. In politics as a whole, it's getting better, but to back in that time, to be able to stand out as a female, considering the stuff that was going on and the opportunities for women wasn't the same. I think that is incredible that she was able to do that in that time. So she was the first female British Prime Minister and the longest serving for over 150 years. She also led the country, yes, again, it's controversial, war against the Falklands. She was in charge of that, and see that was a successful campaign for the UK. She was the president of her university's Conservative Party Association. Oh, so, wow. Straight away, she was doing really well in school and in politics. All in all, she paved the way for female politicians. You can't deny. You saw that, and it's like, right, women can do this too. So for me, I just, that's why she's on my list. The Iron Lady.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool. Good one.
Okay, so coming in at number 4, Bex, is
Madam C.J. Walker. Now, she was the first self-made millionaire in America, which was actually recorded and recognized in the Guinness World Book of Records. She basically invented a line of African American hair products, and she went on to open a beauty school. And one of her quotes is that she wants the great masses of my people to take a greater pride in their personal appearance and to give hair a proper attention. Now, what I love about her story is, fortunately, she was born outside of slavery. However, her parents and her siblings were born into slavery. However, she was still mistreated, but also there was no real mainstream African-American beauty or hair or beauty products or anything really at that time. So you can only imagine what she had to face, all of that adversity, the racism of the 20th century America as well. So for me, I thought it was like really pretty cool. She went on to train 23,000 sales agents and workers serving customers in the US, Central America and the Caribbean. And she had a mansion built called Villa Lewaru, which was a gathering for many of the people in the Harlem Renaissance. And what I like about it is that, I think it was in 2018, it's been bought by the New Voices Foundation, which is basically a foundation that helps women of color, entrepreneurs, to achieve their vision through innovative leadership initiatives, which I think is quite fitting for everything that she stands for and that she paved the way for. So for me, number 4 is Madam C.J. Walker.
That's incredible. It's funny, actually, you talking about that. I think I was actually reading something the other day, and it was talking about, even now, if you go to like a big supermarket, you have the ethnic section, which is like, it's got its own little bit, and then everything else is just filled, and you have to go to dedicated shops just to buy products.
I mean, the progression, and this is one thing that I was talking about yesterday with my partner, is that the progression is coming. It's not where it needs to be, but if we go back 5 years, there probably wouldn't have even been that section.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So for me, I always think like we are where we are in the world. So, if there's some sort of progression, you've got not even just with the hair care, but that's really small, but you actually have an aisle now for world foods, don't you? So
it's got better. Absolutely.
So normally you have to go to your local, little shop that, does those types of things, but it's starting to come through, and we're far cry from where we need to be, but it's definitely starting to be addressed. So
100%. Awesome.
All right. Hey. So let's go on to number 3 for Carly.
Harriet Tubman. Now, incredible. So she's the most famous conductor of the Underground Railroad. Now, there's disputes in the numbers, but they think she guided over 300 slaves to freedom. There's been some things that she said it was less. Some people are saying more. But either way, she personally at least saved 70 people from slavery, which is absolutely incredible. Risking her own life, she funded it herself as well to help get them out. She served as a nurse during the Civil War as well, and I think she was a cook, a laundress, a spy, and it's like she did everything. Like, she's unreal. She raised money to open schools for African Americans as well. Gave speeches on women's rights. World War II. She had a World War II Liberty ship named after her, which is the SS Harriet Tubman. And she was actually due to be placed on the $20 bill, but for whatever reason, it didn't come about. So that they're currently saying she should be on it in 2026. But President Joe Biden is trying to speed that up now to get her on it, which is incredible. And I watched a film about her because, like, with her, she used to get the visions and stuff like that, which actually they think came from because I think she's trying to save someone. She got hit in the head.
Yeah, that's right. She did. Because she had a disability, and that's like one of the prominent things as well, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and she used to like just black out randomly and stuff like that. But imagine that. I can't even imagine that. The risk, what she personally went through, and then going back, taking that risk to go and save more and more people. And I believe there was a bill or an act that was passed where actually you could capture freed slaves and then like re-enslave them or some craziness like that. Yeah, and you imagine all of this is going on and she's still like, I don't care. I'm helping as many people as I can. Absolutely incredible.
That's great. That's amazing. And you know what, like, you know, there are people of today that are trying to pave that way and be that kind of person to help a lot of people, whether it's like homelessness or, you know, addictions and racism, loads of different things, you know what I mean? And it's good that we can actually celebrate that on today's episode.
Exactly.
So
Absolutely.
guys, we're pretty much coming up nearly kind of halfway through. So don't forget to like, comment, and share this video if you like it. And we would really appreciate your support. If you're tuned in still to now, we thank you, and we're so grateful for all of the support that we've got from our friends and family and anybody else that comes into this channel as well.
100%. Thank you so much. Cool. Okay, so next up, number 3 for Bex is...
So I know this person is amazing, and it is Carolyn Brady, comes in at number 3 for me. I know this girl loves her.
I love Carolyn Brady.
So I won't say too much because I know it's probably maybe in your top 3 as well. Well, you've got 2 left now. So Carolyn Brady is one of the few women that has been able to make waves in a male-dominated industry, and that is my beloved football. Dubbed the first lady of football, and I wish I could have had that crown, but you know what? She's amazing. So yeah, she's also another person that has proved that you do not need to go to university in order to sit amongst the elite. And you probably most know her from The Apprentice, but she's done so much more than that. At 23, just think about this.
23.
At 23, became the managing director at Birmingham City Football Club, men's club. And she's one of the most sought after speakers in the world. So I love her 10 rules to success, but I think that needs a whole video for itself. But some of the other things that I like that is her motto is she'll do anything necessary to get the job done. Self-discipline and energy are 2 key characteristics, and who dares win, and it's all about confidence. So for me, number 3 is Carolyn Brady. Woo!
Love me some Karen.
All right, so moving on, we've got number 2 for Carly.
Baroness Carolyn Brady.
Boy.
Yeah, absolutely love her. I mean, what more can I add? Let me just have a look. Like you said, first lady of British football, CEO of West Ham United. She was a key, I don't know if she still is, she was a key consultant for Psycho, Simon Cowell's record label as well. And she'd done stuff with Mothercare at loads of companies. She was made a life peer. So she entered the House of Lords in 2014. So she's Baroness. She started in advertising sales, as you mentioned, wasn't the most academic at all, but she's just grafted, and like you say, anything it takes to get the job done, and then that's how she managed to get that job. And she was actually the one who got Birmingham City floated on the London Stock Exchange.
Oh, really?
Which is incredible. As you mentioned, The Apprentice, married. I think she's got 2 kids. All of this going on, so she proves again that you can raise a family. Obviously, yes, having the right support system around you, but it can be done. And just look where she is today. And she's a super. She does a lot for to support women in business as well, which is incredible. But absolutely, I think we definitely have to do and we will do a separate video on Carolyn Brady, because that's goals, absolute goals. Yeah.
She's wicked.
She is absolutely, yeah. Cool. Ooh la la. Okay, so coming in at number 2 for Bex
is Carly. What? So look, I could go on and on. I could probably write a book about our relationship and our friendship over the last 20 years. I've known Carly since I was 12 years old, and I would say that, I was thinking about this today. I would say that you're the first person that I looked up to, because, you know, I've come from like being, apart from, you know, like my mom and whatever, I'm probably my auntie. I would say as a fangirl, I would say like, and someone that I just was just like, oh my gosh, this person is amazing. It was you at karate, black belt in karate, right? So yeah, and throughout my whole life, Carly has been a massive inspiration to me. We played football together, and again, one of the quickest and pretty skilled players that I've played with, good in defense. No one could really beat her. And what I love about you as well is that you're multi-talented. Like, it's like anything you do, even if you're not very good at it now, you're trying to be the best. Football, running, CrossFit, karate, dancing, singing, writing, and the list continues. I could go on and on, but here are a few reasons what I love about Carly is that she's selfless. She'll do anything to help people. She's positive. She's been through it all, but you would never ever know, because even though you're a private person, you don't allow it to cloud who you are as a person. I love that about you. She's a ray of light, and if you get time to spend with her, then you're super lucky. She's ambitious and driven. I tell you, there's nobody that I know that is so ambitious and driven. You're probably the most successful person that I know personally. And you always work hard to deliver and be your own personal challenges. She's non-judgmental. That I could say is probably the number one thing about Carly that I love, because she knows everything about me. If you want to know something about me, go into mine and Carly's chat or our phone recordings if they were ever there, and you will know everything about me. She's never judging me. However, she will put me in my place, and she will say, Bex, don't do that. Like, don't do that.
Fix up.
And then the final one is integrity. And I think that's why we've been able to go into business with each other, because I think some of our morals really do align. And she's an honest person, and she does what she says she will do. So my number 2 is Carly.
I'm really shocked by that. I'm lifting out. I need to score. Thank you very much. I wasn't expecting that, but
all right, guys, so we are on our final one, our top one. I'm intrigued to know what Carly is. If you're intrigued and you want to take a guess, drop it in the comment section. Who do you think is Carly's number 1, and who do you think is my number 1? All right, Carly, let's hit it. Who's your number 1?
Serena Williams.
Why?
Oh, I love that woman. I absolutely love her. It was actually a bit of a back and forth between her and Carolyn Brady. I think definitely as I got more into tennis and learning more about Serena and sort of just following her on social media and stuff, it kind of tipped, because I don't see so much of Carolyn Brady lately. But what can I say? Let's look at the list. She is, without doubt, forget the whole 24 Grand Slam titles, because is it Margaret Court who has the 24? I think it's Margaret Court. But that was before the open era. The open era is that's when the professionals came. Because I believe what it was back then, you weren't allowed to financially gain from it. And then the open era is when it became professional, tennis profession. So since then, which ultimately means it's harder, your competition is better. So I am sorry, I don't care. Get your records, all of that. Serena Williams is the greatest female tennis player of all time. End of discussion. I don't want to hear anymore.
She's even up there with players of all time.
I think 100%.
Like, do you get it?
In sport, just success as an individual in sport of all time. She's a powerhouse. Like 23 Grand Slams. One of them she won while she was 2 months pregnant. Are you kidding me?
Boy.
Yeah. She was pregnant when she won one of them. She's got Olympic gold medals as well. Her outfits, like there's no her and her sister. There's no one else who has that style, the power. You know it when you get on there. When Nike give them their clothing, they know it needs to stand out. Don't be giving them no little white little vest. No, give me the pink with the half sleeve arm. Like yes, style, absolute style. She is the oldest Grand Slam singles champion. And all of her credit goes to her sister. She's always saying if it wasn't for her sister, she wouldn't be where she is today. She's got her own clothing lines. She has a Serena Williams Foundation, and I know she built schools in Africa. And she's also invested in more than 50 startups. And she's got a company called Serena Ventures, which has got a portfolio of about 100 million. Which focuses on companies founded by women and minorities, which is just incredible. And it's like, that's another reason why I said she has to be my number one, because this is what we're doing with Be Limitless. Trying to show those people, inspire women, inspire minorities, to just be limitless in everything you do. And
take the lid off, and
done that. Like,
take off the lid.
I would love to meet her one day, 100%.
That would be incredible. Imagine if you got to interview her.
Oh.
Boy.
I think I'd just be like this
Serena,
the whole time.
if you're watching, we're here, baby.
I think the whole time I'd just be like,
okay, the question that I have is, can I get a picture, please?
100%. Oh, okay, right. Bex, you ready to top this off? Who is your number one female inspiration? Go.
Okay, so I don't know if anybody guessed this correctly, but I will have to say it's my mum, because I had a like, should I go like personal or should I go with like female inspirations? But we're looking like that's in the public eye. But for me, my mum has been a guiding light for me. We've clashed and all of that type of stuff, but without my mum, I wouldn't be the person that I am. She's inspirational to me because she's had to balance being a single mum of 4, juggling multiple cleaning jobs just to ensure that we had a meal on our table, which often meant that she couldn't eat. I remember times when she would come and sit down with us and we'd have a family meal, but then there was other times when she would be pottering around in the kitchen. And, you know, when there would be days when we say we don't want to eat, like we're full up, and my mum wouldn't push back for us to eat, because actually, if you leave that food, that means I get a little something. And for me, when I started to realize like our situation, I was just like, what? How are you still going? Do you understand? And she's super positive about my future, has always encouraged me to be the best version of myself. She's always encouraged me to put my best foot forward. Even when she's not in a good place, she's always been riding for me, and always tried to get me to smile, even in the face of adversity. You know, being a female, being gay, and being of mixed heritage as well. She's always empowered me to believe that I can be anything that I put my mind to. Like whenever I bring my mum and like, I don't know, it was university or it was work or whatever, she's like, you can do it. You know you can do it. Like, just believe in yourself. You can do it. She's a great leader. She's hardworking. She's encouraging. She's a great kind-hearted person. Like, you know, she will listen to you, she will give you good sound advice. She's been through so much, and she's a great cook as well. I'll give her that. Like, she can cook. So yeah, my mum is my rock, and mum, I love you. So if you're watching this, I dedicate my #1 spot to you. Boy.
It's funny though, isn't it? Because like you say, initially I just thought to myself, oh, it's got to be famous people, but absolutely not. Sometimes it is the closest people to us, and we do forget that. Like, say, similar to you, like growing up we weren't poor, don't get me wrong, but I know how hard my parents worked, and like you say, the extra cleaning jobs, the extra, you know, all that stuff. Again, 4 children to have to raise. And honestly, both of my parents, no matter what, if I said to my mum and dad tomorrow, I want to be an astronaut, they'd be like, yeah, go for it. They'd back it 100%.
Yeah.
They would back it
100%. And you know what's and that's so lucky, because not many people have that behind them. I mean, people are being disowned from their families left, right and center for the most, what we might think are ridiculous of things, you know what I mean? And you know, my family, you know, my brother is gay, I'm gay, and through everything, my mum, like, the love for us has never changed. Do you understand? Like, nothing has ever changed. So for me, I think it's incredible that, you know, we've got that support system around us, and we're super thankful.
100%. Other people that, and you know what, I think we were saying this to each other, that actually, other than a couple that immediately came, like Serena Williams immediate, Carolyn Brady was immediate, I had to really think, and then I realised that it's mostly men. That I'm like, oh wow, look what they've done. Like, it's men. And it's like, no, this is good. We need to, there's women doing the same things, and they're just maybe not getting the same attention. And we need to recognise them. So actually I was like, yeah, this is good. And actually, when speaking to some friends about creating a video as well, which hopefully will get put on this, they said exactly the same thing.
Yeah. And because I was saying about it as well, and then I was thinking, but when you think about the industries and areas that we're interested in, they are mostly and mainly male dominated in the public eye. Yeah. But it does, like you said, it doesn't mean that, like, we're into property and entrepreneurship, but it doesn't mean that there's not female entrepreneurships. Maybe they're just not as loud about it.
Yeah.
So look, we've got some other inspirational women that we would definitely like to shout out as inspirations to us, but we didn't want to do a whole video on them. However, it doesn't mean that they're not amazing. So do you want to run through yours first?
Other women on my list were Rosa Parks, Maya Angelou, Amelia Bernhardt, Sheryl Sandberg, Condoleezza Rice, and Hillary Clinton. Both of those, again, I put together because of like what Margaret Thatcher had done. Those two were quite predominant in the American political scene, as females, again, sort of paving that way in politics as well. So yeah, they were my others.
I've got a few more. So I've got Jada Pinkett Smith, I have Serena and Venus Williams, I have J.K. Rowling. She got rejected, I'm pretty sure, about 12 times for Harry Potter. Elena Cardone, Oprah. She doesn't necessarily speak to me, but she's worth 2.6 billion, so she's done something amazing. Have to shout out Kris Jenner and what she's been able to do for her whole family. 100%. Laverne Cox, I'll quickly mention this one. First transgender person to be nominated for an Emmy in 2014 for her role in Orange is the New Black, so I thought that's incredible.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, Michelle Obama, Halle Berry, again, first black woman to be named Best Actress at the Oscars. Shonda Rhimes, I have to shout this out, but for her amazing shows, Grey Anatomy, Scandal, and How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
Yeah. Gabby Douglas and Simone Biles, Olympic winners for gymnastics. Beyonce and Rihanna.
You went in.
Oh, let's go.
I literally just made a 10 list. Because then we said, because initially we were going to do top 10, and I just did my 10, but yeah, amazing.
It's just because, like, honestly, I had my 5, and then I was going through, and I was just like, oh, these are some key people just to shout out as well. Like, I mean, we could after doing this, I've really like changed, like my mindset has changed a bit. Like there's so many, it's not that I didn't know that there's incredible women, but there actually is some flipping fantastic success stories out there. 100%. And I encourage everybody to go out and, you know, research some of the women that are paving the way in lots of different industries.
Absolutely. And especially like, if you know what you want to do, you know that area of whether it's you want to be an entrepreneur, an intrapreneur, whatever it is, or athlete, find those men and women, find them both, see what it was they have to do to get there, understand, learn from them. And this is another thing we're trying to do, you know, make that more known, so people can see that and really understand their stories. Yeah, and
that's definitely something that we're trying to do, is bridge that gap. So bring those stories to the forefront, because like we say, right, all different industries, it could be that you want to be a head teacher, but no one looks like you potentially, or whatever it may be, right? We want to try and bring those stories to you. So in honor of International Women's Day, we've reached out to a few of our closest friends and family to do a quick shout out to who they think is their inspirational woman. And so we'll roll that on in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go!
Hello, my name's Mark Parham. I'm an entrepreneur and investor, and my friends Carly and Bex have asked me to do a quick video explaining a female entrepreneur that really inspires me. Now, before I do that, I want to show you a female artist that really inspires me. This is Katie J. Dobson, celebrating the female form. I thought, what a great backdrop for this video. But the female entrepreneur that I've gone for is Sarah Blakely. And the reason I've gone for her is not only has she got a really good inspirational story, but she's super accessible. You can watch her masterclass on Masterclass, and there's lots of information about her on YouTube, so you can find out all about her story of how she created a $1 billion company and became a billionaire herself. Great story, I hope this helps.
Hello, this is a message from my older sister, Carly Cowell, just to say how she motivates me every day. She's my idol. I look up to her as a big sister and a role model. And I just want to make this video to say thank you. I really appreciate her and I love her. Thank you.
Wow, women who inspired me. There were many, just to mention a few. 2 teachers, Maria Cecilia Mendes, Maria Aparecida Fuim. When I was about 12 years old, they were women ahead of their time. My sisters, I suppose. I am the youngest of 4, so they are Zezé, Marlene, Aurelia. A friend in Italy, Alessandra, who dedicates her life to challenge and change the status quo. And Rene in Netherlands, who is the person with the most difficult life I've ever met. And she had the courage to write a book. And she also helps people now to overcome traumas.
I'd just like to say that all the women in my life as a collective have helped inspired me. They've instilled good feminine qualities I think every male should have. It's kind of hard just to pick out one individual. But yeah, my mum, aunties, sisters, you know, previous relationships, they've all in turn had their own positive and negative effect on me. So yeah, I think all women in general are inspiring anyway. You know, you shouldn't just pick out one specific person. It's, you know, it's a whole gender in itself. So yeah, all the women in my life are inspiring.
For International Women's Day, I wanted to pay tribute to Maddie Ellen. Maddie Ellen is an advocate and survivor of sexual violence and the creator of Reclaim Me. Reclaim Me is a podcast and safe space created by Maddie for other survivors of sexual violence to come and share their stories. I was first introduced to Maddie when she released her first ever episode, which detailed her own experience of sexual violence. This then led the way for so many other people, including myself, to come forward and share our own experiences and unburden ourselves from the shame and guilt that normally comes with such an act. As someone who has also been doing their own independent work at combating against sexual violence, I was in awe of what Maddie had created in such a small amount of time and how many people she had already helped. This has inspired me to continue doing my own work and makes me look forward to seeing what she does next.
We teach girls to shrink themselves, to make themselves smaller. We say to girls, you can have ambition, but not too much. Words spoken by the inspirational woman that is Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. She reminded women that there's more to life than being just a woman or a wife. A feminist, she inspires women to do more and to do better and to fight for what they want. A writer, an educator, and an inspiration.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just want to say a massive thank you for tuning in to our first YouTube video. Thank you for tuning into our channel. Please like, comment, share, and all of the other subscribe supposed to give.
Get the notification.
Yeah, put on the bell notification as well so you know that when we're dropping a video. And hopefully, guys, we'll have this out to you on March the 8th, International Women's Day 2021. It's your girl, Bex.
And it's Carly. Speak to you later.
Bye.
Bye.